Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Of course, pre-season results mean nothing, but it's always nice to get a win under the belt for a bit of confidence for the upcoming season. We know we won 3-2 against Real Betis. Ahmad and Amass were the standout players, in my opinion. Rashford, Mount, honorable mentions as well. There's a bit of a transfer update on De Ligt, Mazraoui, Wan-Bissaka and Mctominay. We'll speak about all of that in today's video. And of course, preview our game against Liverpool and the new manager Arne Slot. So let's first speak about Real Betis and that particular game. And I want to start off by speaking about Ahmad and Harry Amass. What players, young players at that. Well, of course, Ahmad is not that young, but he's still fairly a young player and has lots of room for improvement. But the same can be said about Harry Amass. What a young player at left back. A lot of people liken him to Luke Shaw at his best. And if he's already being described as a Luke Shaw right now and he's not even properly developed yet as a first team player, then the sky is the limit for what type of left back he can become. He's aggressive going forward, aggressive in defense, makes very good passes going forward. He's very, very knowledgeable when to release the ball, when to keep it, when to play the right pass inside, cross it in. And that was evident of the goal for Ahmad when he played the ball in. And it's not difficult to say that he won't start against Liverpool because I think he's got a very good chance against starting against Liverpool. And if he has a good game there or a good half, considering, there will be changes maybe in the second half, he might start against City in the Community Shield, and that would not be against any doubt or debate because he's shown his quality. He's spoken after the game and he said that if he's given the opportunity, he's ready to take it with both hands. So I'm excited to see more of Harry Amass this season. We know Malacia is still rehab in terms of his training, trying to get back into the first team. And of course, Luke Shaw, yes, he played for England at the Euros, but he still needs to get back to full fitness. So it will be a while, probably in my opinion, before we see Luke Shaw playing and training with the first team. So Harry Amass does have a very, very good opportunity to nail down that left back place as his own. And the same can be said for Ahmad, who basically had a bit of a topsy-turvy time since signing for Manchester United from Atalanta a couple years ago, having loan spells out, one that did not work with Rangers and a one that worked with Sunderland. And now he's at United, showed his quality in the latter stages of last season, but in this preseason he has stepped up, like he said himself in his interviews. He wants to step up, he wants to help the team from the beginning, and he's made the right wing spot his own. Excellent on the ball, excellent off the ball. There's so many traits that he possesses that the likes of Garnacho, Sancho, and even Anthony, who play on the right-hand side, do not have. He's got such great close control, especially for the way he got the penalty for us, beating his man on the outside, cutting in, and then taking on another two or three and causing confusion and getting us a penalty. Now, of course, with better players around him, I'm sure we will see a much better Ahmad. But the way he's performing in pre-season, I would feel that he's going to be and should be our starting right winger, not just for the game against City in the Community Shield, but also moving forward for the season, because he can only grow in that position. And with better players, with Bruno being back, Kobe Mainu, him having Delo or Mazraoui, should we get him, and we'll speak about transfer news a bit later in the video, we will see a much better Ahmad at Manchester United, because the way it seems and the way it looks, he's maturing and improving every single game. So a very good performance. As I said, Rashford, scoring the penalty that Ahmad got for us, and he had another good game. Yes, he did come off with a bit of an injury, but I think it was just precaution. I don't think we want our players to get injured because Hoyland is out for 6 weeks. Euro is out for 3 months, as reported by the club. And that already sets us back in terms of how we want to start this season. But it's not to say that we are entirely crippled at that, because with Euro being injured, we now push harder for Mazraoui. And that being said, David Ornstein did come out with an exclusive report saying that we sent a double offer for De Ligt and Mazraoui to Bayern Munich, which in the same breath was rejected. But we are still in talks with Bayern Munich for the two of those players. Now, it was said in the article by David Ornstein that Rafael Pimenta, the agent of De Ligt and Mazraoui, did say that they were feeling bemused at the decision to reject Man United's offer, because they were told earlier on, before the transfer window opened, that should offers come in for De Ligt and Mazraoui, the club will accommodate transfers for them out of the club. Here is an offer from United. Bayern Munich rejects it. I think it's just Bayern Munich trying to play a hardball. I think they don't want to lose two quality players because they might not be able to replace them. They're still struggling to get Jonathan Tah. I think their right back situation is a bit iffy, so it's them trying not to lose players that are quality, that are good for their team, but also not trying to lose players for fees that are lower than what they paid for the players. It's just business at the end of the day. But I do think that with Wan-Bissaka agreeing terms with West Ham and looking to go to West Ham, I think once that deal is done, and Fulham who put in an offer for Mctominay, which was rejected by us because it was only 23 million, we're looking for at least 25 million and maybe 30 as a full package, as per Fabrizio Romano reported. It is, in my opinion, looking rather like that. Before we get De Ligt and Mazraoui, as I said in the previous video, we are looking to get sales out first, which is a Lindelof, which is looked at by Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, McTominay, also Galatasaray, but more likely Fulham, in my opinion, and of course Wan-Bissaka with West Ham. So it is still going to be very busy for us in the transfer window before the end of August when the transfer window closes. But I do think that we're pushing harder for De Ligt because of Euro's injury. Whether we get De Ligt in before the Community Shield, that's questionable. The same can be said for Mazraoui. But Ineos have showed that they are able to do transfer dealings quite quickly, i.e. the Euro deal, i.e. the Xerxes deal, when we got those personal terms agreed. So it's going to be exciting leading up to the City game, exactly what happens in the transfer window for Man United and how Ineos do look to replace certain players and of course strengthen our squad with what is available. Zubimendi is still an option. We're still talking to PSG about a deal for Ugarte. So there is transfers happening. There is talks between clubs happening from our side. And as I said, it's just a matter of time before we get in De Ligt and Mazraoui, who are the two important ones, I think, in my opinion, that has to come in before we look at an Ugarte, because McTominay needs to leave first, in my opinion. Now, of course, against Liverpool, our next preseason game, our last preseason game in the USA, we do expect a much more intense game. We're going to have lots of changes, I think, but the likes of Harry Amass, Ahmad, maybe Rashford, they will probably be getting another start to get that match fitness, of course, and that match rhythm. And we played quite well against Real Betis. We were very good in the way we pressed. We kind of squeezed up when we needed to, and we were very good in closing down spaces, and we didn't allow Real Betis to play out from the back. Now, I would want to see the same thing against Liverpool. I want to see us stop them from playing out. I want us to see them break down their attacks, and when we have the chance to attack, play the way we played against Real Betis. Calm and patient on the ball, making runs off the ball, and quick one-touch passing or one-touch to two-touch passing in and around their defense, and then breaking those lines by playing those passes. That's the way Ten Hag wants to play. That's the way he wants Man United to play. Confident on the ball and, of course, off the ball to get the ball back. So it will be more intense, but we must be mindful that some of our players are also not going to go 100% because a week later we have City in the Community Shield and then the season proper starts. So we will be seeing kind of an on and off game. There will be moments where we pick up the intensity, but there will also be moments where we relax a bit just to allow for a bit of defensive structure and defensive training in a game against a team like Liverpool who would want to come at us, I am sure. So it's going to be an interesting game in my opinion, and whatever happens in the transfer window leading up to that, you will always hear it here on Red Devils Talk with me. But of course, our last preseason game in the USA is against our old rivals Liverpool, which is a very good way to say goodbye to the USA, at least just for this summer. But of course, we have to focus on the season proper that starts after that. But I thank you for joining me. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section what you think about our transfers, our targets, and where Manchester United are right now. And of course, your thoughts on the Liverpool game and what you expect the scoreline to be. Have a wonderful weekend, Red Devils. Till we speak again soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.